Do you feel that you do more time pass and less studies whenever you're sitting with books? Or do you feel that you're done for the day after hardly studying for 15 to 20 minutes? Or in short, do you struggle to focus in your studies? I know that most probably your answer would be a yes. But don't worry, because you are not alone. There are many like you. In this video, we are going to talk about the root cause of why you are not focused in your studies. Dopamine, which is a feel-good hormone. Whenever released in our brain, we feel happy and good. That means whenever we are feeling happy and good, that is due to the dopamine release in our brain, a chemical. For example, whenever we are having that tasty slice of pizza, we feel happy because dopamine is released in our brain. Whenever we are snoozing our alarm for 5 more minutes to sleep, we feel happy because dopamine is released in our brain. Or whenever we are scrolling on Instagram, watching entertaining reels, we feel happy, we laugh. We feel happy because dopamine is released in our brain. All these destructive habits about which I gave the examples give us instant happiness within seconds. That means instantly dopamine is released whenever we do these activities. And as all these destructive habits are becoming a part of our life, we are being dependent on these activities for the release of dopamine and to feel happy. And the brain is looking for happiness. The brain is looking for how can I release dopamine and so the whole body can feel happy. So brain is getting dependent on instant dopamine releasing activities like the 3 examples which I gave earlier. Now if we talk about the activity of study, it is such an activity in which dopamine is not going to release instantly in most of the cases. On the contrary, hormones like cortisol is going to release in our brain, which has a direct link with stress level. Dopamine will be released, but slowly and steadily, not instantly, like in the case of 3 examples which I gave earlier. So as a result, whenever you are sitting with your books, dopamine is not going to release instantly, but your brain, which is dependent now on that instant dopamine releasing activity, seek for happiness. It looks for how can I release dopamine to feel happy. So as a result, after studying for 15 to 20 minutes, the brain kind of craves for releasing dopamine, which is the brain is not getting through study. So as a result, you lose your focus. The brain starts looking in your surrounding for such activities which will release dopamine in the brain. So you look for your phone. You think about, let me check my Instagram, or let me check my Facebook or WhatsApp, or let me play a game and then I will start studying. That is because your brain is looking for that dopamine rush. And let's say you take your phone and then that 5 minutes changes into 1 hour, 2 hours, and you don't even realize because you're enjoying that period. But that's the loop. And remember this line: the way you will train your brain, the brain will become the same. I repeat, the way you will train your brain, the brain will become the same. And the good part is, as you have trained your brain to lose focus, you can also train your brain to get focused. For this, the very first step is to be aware of your constructive and destructive habits. Be aware that constructive habits are not going to give me instant happiness. Dopamine is not going to release instantly, but these are activities which will make me a better person. Constructive habits like studying is important priority for me as a student, so I have to do it. So first of all, be aware of what are the constructive habits which will make you better, and which are destructive habits which looks so fancy but kind of pulling you down. And when you are aware of your constructive and destructive habits, the next step is to execute those constructive habits, and this is the most challenging part, the most difficult part. So how to begin? Dedicate 1 hour in the beginning at least for self-study, and then gradually increases the duration of your self-study. In the beginning, after 15 to 20 minutes, you will feel like I'm done, I'm just feeling bored, I want to check my phone. But this is the most challenging part, where you have to challenge yourself that at least for this 1 hour where I am dedicating for self-study, I am not going to check my phone. It's okay to just sit 5 minutes doing nothing, taking a break and coming back to study, then to checking your phone. It's okay to waste just sitting 5 to 10 minutes doing nothing, but again and again try to bring back your focus on your study and deep dive into that study mode, at least for 1 hour. So consistently when you will do this activity, you are kind of training your brain to focus on the important task, even just for 1 hour. That's okay in the initial stage, but that needs to be increased slowly and steadily with time. Following this activity consistently will make your brain independent of instant dopamine releasing activities for your happiness. As a result, your brain will get trained to focus on the important, though it is a boring task, but it will understand that it is important, and it will become a habit for you to focus on your study slowly and steadily. Dopamine will be released, you will feel happy, but in a slow and steadily manner. And getting out of this instant dopamine releasing activity loop is the need of the hour, because it is the root cause of your unfocused study.